Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story comes out of Orlando, and I just don't know how many more stories we're going to do out of Florida, Ohio, and Texas. But this is yet another story coming more specifically out of Palm Bay, Florida. Okay? Now, I'm going to warn you guys, there are going to be some details in this story that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. So if you can't handle that, this might not be the video for you, but that is your disclaimer if you need to exit the video. Please don't flag and please don't get to crying because you don't like my opinion about what I got to say, all right? Everybody here ought to understand I don't like criminals and I don't like people who hurt children. So if you want to defend those type of people, then this is not the place for you. But for everybody else that wants to hear this story, the girlfriend of this father, of this alleged father, accused in the death of this 12-year-old boy by the name of Noah Godleski. Let me see if I can get Noah's face up on the screen. On the right-hand side, that is Noah. He is 12 years old, or was 12 years old. And the girlfriend and father have been arrested in Connecticut Friday morning for her role in the boy's death, according to Palm Bay police. The girlfriend's name is Samariel. I don't know if I have her name up here. Let me see. It's not that it's that important. But this creature over here on the left-hand side, her name is spelled Samarial. Samariel Dubois or Dubose. Dubose. I've never known how to pronounce that. I ain't going to even lie. But she's 30 years old and was driven out of state by Jason Gorletsky, who was her boyfriend and Noah's father. And they did this on October the 20th, which is 2 days before the boy's father went to the police to tell them that his 12-year-old son had passed away and died. Some of you guys might be wondering, how did the boy die? What happened? Was there some foul play? Because I definitely believe it was. Let's keep going. The couple has 3 children together. Let me guess, Noah was not one of those children. I told you guys, it's always funny how you bring these girlfriends and boyfriends around your kids who don't have a DNA tie to those kids. And guess what? The kids end up being abused and murdered. Not all the time, and it's not every single situation like that, but it's too many. You say I pronounce it Du Bois. I'm just not going to get that right, but thank you, Ivory. I appreciate that. Let's keep going. They got 3 children together, apart from Noah, whose biological mother has not been a part of his life for some time. So for those who might be wondering where this baby boy's mother is, she's not been around. Sounds like a deadbeat to me. Let's keep going. Those children were brought to Connecticut. From Florida to Connecticut. I don't know how far of a drive that is, but that seems like it's a very, very far drive, man. Or even a flight. But I think they actually drove. But they drove to Connecticut with Dubose, whatever. But were removed from her custody prior to her arrest by the state's Child Protective Services, according to Palm Bay Police Chief Nelson Moya. Those children are now being cared for by other family members. Gets a little bit deeper. So she lost all 3 of her kids that she had with Noah's dad. When questioned by police, she told them that the 12-year-old was misbehaving on October the 17th, and he was forced into the laundry room of the home, according to records. It's not my words. The girlfriend also said she heard the boy's father go into the laundry room right behind him and was yelling at Noah, and she heard him get beat up. She heard the biological father beating up his own son. Upon speaking to the female, we also began to discover inconsistencies and irregularities with her statement, Moya said, according to the news. And again, I got this from Orlando.com, so thank you to the news station. Our detectives, who were now sent to Connecticut, embarked on a series of interviews not only with her, but with the other children as well. We made some disturbing findings that we're still trying to confirm. The chief said there is a likelihood that the girlfriend was arrested on allegations of child abuse against Noah Galinsky in 2013. Let's pause it right down there. I'm going to read that again. Said it's a 19-hour drive. She was arrested on allegations of child abuse against Noah, who is the baby boy in this story on the right-hand side. The girlfriend was arrested in 2013. Allegations of abuse. And this boy was still allowed to be around them and ultimately ended up being murdered. How effing ironic is that? Is this a failure of the system? I say no. Where is his mom at? Nobody freaking knows. Matter of fact, when this arrest took place in 2013, this boy just didn't have anybody. Where were his grandparents? Where were his advocates, cousins, any other family members? Anybody? No. He was stuck with his father. He should have been safe with his father, but he wasn't, because the dad didn't give a damn except for being with that damn woman. Why? Because he cared more about getting pussy than he did caring about his own flesh and blood, which he got from having sex with his mom. That is disgusting. There was also possible allegations of child abuse and neglect in Massachusetts in 2018. Opportunity number 2. Let's keep going. In March of 2020, there's a confirmed allegation to our Florida Department of Children and Families, a case involving an allegation brought forth by a teacher, because teachers are required to report something if they see something and they know something, right? An allegation brought forth by a teacher at one of our local schools that 12-year-old Noah was a victim, or I guess he was 11 at the time, but he was a victim of child abuse at the hands of both the suspect and his girlfriend. What do they usually call that when you get 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes? 3 opportunities to save this kid's life. But what happened after that? The chief said Palm Bay police were never notified about that case, and it was later closed out as unfounded. How is it unfounded if you're up to 3 times of being contacted about abuse against this boy? What is he supposed to do? He's a child. He can't speak for himself. He can't defend himself. He can't run away. There's nobody to run to when he needs love, like the song says. Who was that boy supposed to run to? How was he supposed to feed himself or clothe himself? What was he supposed to do? In 2013, that would have made him what? I can't do math. Lord have mercy. I can't do math. What would that have made this 12-year-old boy? Let me see. That's 10, 9, 8, 7. So 4 or 5 years old? Then they said 2018, which was 3 years ago, and then 2020, which was last year. 3 opportunities. Police said that they found the boy's body still in the laundry room on October the 22nd with evidence of trauma. So here's what I believe. I believe that the dad went in there and beat his son to death and beat him unconscious, and he died from his injuries. Now, I don't know that to be a fact, but that's just what I believe. Okay? Investigators also believe that the boy had been dead for some time, so they just left him there to rot. Jason Galinsky was subsequently arrested on charges of aggravated manslaughter and failure to report a death of his own effing son. Moya said part of the basis for the probable cause to arrest the girlfriend came from an intercepted phone call in which somebody stated, "We hit him too hard in the face and the back of the head." Hit him too hard in the face and in the back of the head. As a matter of fact, I actually ran across this Facebook group, and there was somebody in there. There was a woman that was asking if somebody could help her learn other ways to discipline her children because she don't want to spank her children anymore. I'm going to tell y'all, seriously, if that's not really what you do, don't just offer people advice on how to discipline children. That is a very special thing, and these people need very specific instructions. And luckily enough, I actually know the lady. This is aside from this story, but I actually sent her, I tagged her name and I sent her a message and told her, inbox me so we can talk and get you straightened out and get you a plan of action. Because I don't like people disciplining their children. I'm sorry, but I know a lot of us, especially if you come from the black community, you might think that's normal. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Using tactics that were derived from slavery is a stupid thing to do. The whip is like the belt. You lay them over, just like you lay them over a barrel, you lay them over a chair or whatever the case is. Tell me, how is that not exactly like slavery? And if we despise slavery the way that we say that we do, then why do we still use tactics? We're in the information age. Are we that level of dumb? Can we not use our minds to put in the children what it is that we want to get back? They're like sponges. What are you putting into your children if you're getting back horrible results? You got to think about that. Children are going to give you back what you put into them. So if they're giving you something you don't like, then you need to reconsider what you're giving them. And it must start from birth. That is my message to anybody who believes that spanking children is right. It's coming from a black man from the South who everybody in my family lineage believed in spanking. And I'm telling you, it's stupid and it's wrong. Stop doing it. It's a Neanderthal method to allegedly raise children. And the children don't learn anything except for fear. They only learn to fear you. They don't respect you. They might tell you they respect you, but it's because they fear you. It's a psychological thing, and you're damaging your children. Stop talking about it's the white thing to do to put your children on timeout. No, it's just not smart to beat your children up like they're slaves. Oops. Now let me get back to this story. Moya said Thursday that Dubois, or the girlfriend, would face the same charges as Galinsky, the dad, but added those charges could be elevated for both as well as the investigation continues. And I like that. They both participated. They both know something, didn't say anything, allowed this boy to die. This boy was in the care and hands of both of these people. They should be charged equally. They should get equal time in prison. The boy died on their clock. Do y'all agree with that? We got an election season coming up. I want y'all to think about that. Make sure you ask your politicians how they feel about our children and making sure that these children get justice in our justice system. Palm Bay police said Friday, Noah would have been, Friday would have been his 13th birthday. Melinda Powell says she learned of what happened days after her firstborn son passed away. Melinda Powell. Is that the mom? Oh my goodness. I hope that is not his mom. Melinda Powell says she learned of what happened days after her firstborn son passed away. The police department came to my house at 3:40 in the morning on Saturday morning and told me an incident happened. The Bushnell mother said Noah was taken from her after she said she was wrongfully accused of assaulting him. The biological mother of Noah said that they wrongfully took her son away because Eyes didn't beat him, y'all. Eyes didn't do nothing to him, even though they would have had to have evidence that this son was abused, which is why she lost custody to the dad. And what do you call that? Just because you lose custody, you're just going to just flat out just not try to be a part of your child's life? Men have to do it all the time. Y'all always, like, y'all in general, don't get mad, but I hear a lot of women say that men need to fight to be in their children's lives no matter what. But what about this particular mother? They they said that she assaulted her son, she lost custody of her son, and then she just kicked back and didn't do nothing else to be in her child's life. Left him hanging. That's horrible. She said she was falsely accused. But how falsely was she accused when she was accused of abusing and beating him up? Then the girlfriend allegedly was falsely accused of beating him up. Then the dad was falsely accused of beating him up. So I'm assuming what? The boy was beating himself up? Let me guess. He was standing on a chair and he fell out of a chair. That's what happened, right? Let me guess. He was probably taking a bath and he slipped in the bathtub and hit his head, right? That's what happened? Let me guess. He was probably playing on the roof of the house, of the apartment, and slipped and fell, right? Let me guess. The boy stole a vehicle, stole a car, and ended up in a high-speed chase and ran dab smack into another car, injuring himself. That's how he died, right? Somehow these kids always do it to themselves. Probably a bathtub. Man, this is insane. I raised him for the first 3 years of his life, according to the biological mother. Powell said Noah did not deserve the cruelty he suffered. But you abused him, ma'am. What do you mean he didn't deserve it? But you did it too. What the hell? I didn't get to see him. They let him rot in the laundry room for 5 days, so now I don't even get to have an open casket. Woe is you, ma'am. The family has established a GoFundMe page. How about that? Are y'all surprised? You know what? Do y'all want to see? Y'all want to see how much they raised in GoFundMe money? Are y'all ready to see this? I don't know if I took a screenshot of it. I think I did. Yes, I did. Right there. Can y'all see that? Or do I need to make it a little bit bigger on my screen? Let's make it bigger on the screen. You guys see how much they're trying to raise? And do y'all see how many people, how many dummies, donors? You guys see how many donors they have? $20,000. They're asking for $20,000. And 3 different parents. Not a single person had life insurance on him. So I'm wondering what's going to be the excuse for not having life insurance on this boy. He was 12 years old. Let me guess. He was too young to get life insurance at age 12. Is that what the excuse is going to be this time? They having a hard time. It's a hard knock life out here. They couldn't afford no life insurance, but they could afford to keep having reckless sex and keep making kids. They had 3 additional kids outside of him. So if you couldn't afford to take care of one, why would you keep making more kids? Somebody please explain. Look, I'm all for these GoFundMes. Y'all are telling me for the longest time that I'm wrong about my opinion about GoFundMes for death. I think GoFundMe should be used for life, not death. That's my personal opinion. Use GoFundMe to put into this boy's college fund, for him to buy his first car, for him to go on a trip to Disney World. to go on a trip, to do something, to go to an arts museum, to start his own business. Damn, how many times have y'all seen a GoFundMe pop up to start a 16 or a 17 or 18-year-old's personal business? How many of those GoFundMes have y'all seen? You always see somebody putting up a GoFundMe when somebody die, but do you see anybody putting up GoFundMes and supporting them like this whenever they're living and thriving and doing something positive because they want to grow up and become something great? Huh? How do y'all not know that Noah maybe wanted to grow up and become the mayor of Palm Bay, Florida? You could have got him a good start that way. But no, what we want to do, we want to take $20,000 damn dollars and put it into the ground, into a dead person, into a dead child. But we won't put that into these children's schools. We won't put it into their books. We won't put it into their clothes, school supplies. What about the school lunches? Most of these school lunches at these schools and breakfasts are shitty. Can't y'all use that $20,000 maybe to get these kids some good food at school? No, I'm sorry. Let me not say that. My ideas are stupid. Everything I just said is stupid. Just omit everything that I just said, okay? Let's not worry about what DJ thinks is a good idea. Let me just give you the fair usage and let me just shut my stupid mouth, okay? Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Federal law allows. And if you guys are watching right now, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. Look at the number of people who are watching, and that's how many thumbs up we want to have. So if y'all would click that thumbs up, that'll help us tremendously. It only takes a moment. It's free to do. Thank you for those who donate, but thank you even more for those who just simply click that thumbs up to share this baby boy story, because it's important. Let's get it.
Palm Bay police say the deadly abuse of a 12-year-old boy inside this home was the equivalent of torture.
This is who we speak for today.
Palm Bay Police Chief Nelson Moya holds a photo of 12-year-old Noah Godleski, a child investigators say was beaten, left for dead, and abandoned in his family's laundry room for days.
And what we discovered was horrifying.
Police made the discovery after the boy's dad, 33-year-old Jason Godleski, showed up in their lobby last Friday and made this chilling call.
I needed to report that my son had passed away in his sleep. I can give you guys my address and the key.
Godleski described where officers would find the body.
He's in the first door on your right when you walk through the front door. I have the key. There's also a dog there, so if I want to get someone there for the dog.
The dispatcher then asked the burning question.
All right, and why didn't you call 911?
I'm just...
Sorry, do you know how he passed away, or?
No. I know you guys are going to come down here and take me away, but can I just smoke a cigarette real quick?
Police say within 5 minutes of that call, they discovered the boy's body.
Wow. He didn't give a damn about his son at all. Let me let y'all hear this again. The 911 operator was quick on her feet. She said, "Why didn't you call 911? I love it when you can try to get these people on record to say, to give some information about their mindset. Love that. Great question. Why didn't you call 911? And this man said, "They're about to come pick me up. Can I smoke a cigarette real quick?" This dad doesn't care about himself. This dad doesn't care about his son. He doesn't care about his other 3 children that he had with this girlfriend. He didn't care about himself. That leads me to believe that he probably didn't have a father in his life, because you clearly can tell that this man don't give a damn about himself. Listen at the end of this again. This fool asked for a damn cigarette from the 911 operator.
How he passed away, or?
No. I know you guys are going to come down here and take me away, but can I just smoke a cigarette real quick?
Police say within 5...
He said that real calm, too.
I'm just...
So do you know how he passed away, or?
No. I know you guys are going to come down here and take me away, but can I just smoke a cigarette real quick?
Police say within 5 minutes of that call, they discovered the boy's body, which had obvious signs of trauma, and it appeared he'd been dead for several days. Godleski is in jail on charges of aggravated manslaughter of a child. An arrest warrant has also been issued for Godleski's live-in girlfriend, 30-year-old Samarile Dubose.
Her statements are inconsistent. We can disprove some of her statements to us, and it clearly paints a picture of her involvement.
According to police documents, on October 17th, Godleski and Dubose beat Noah for misbehaving and left the boy isolated and injured in the laundry room. At some point, Noah died, and the couple and their 3 other children left to visit family in Connecticut. After discovering the body, investigators traveled to Connecticut to interview Dubose and said this isn't the first time she's been accused of abusing Noah. Most recently, in March of 2020, both Dubose and Godleski were investigated by DCF after a Brevard County school teacher reported her concerns that Noah was being abused. The abuse was unfounded, and that case was closed. In Brevard County, Amanda Dukes, WESH 2 News.
News out of Palm Bay, where we are following some new details and developments in that story about the tragic death of a 12-year-old boy in Palm Bay.
Officials just gave an...
I'm going to skip some of these videos because I think I got quite a few of them. So don't be surprised if I try to skip through some of these because I don't want to take too much of your time with just the video.
Update. WESH 2's Amanda Dukes is joining us now with the latest. And Amanda, what have we now learned?
Well, we learned at this morning's news conference that the live-in girlfriend of the father will be arrested at some point today and also charged with aggravated manslaughter in this little boy's death. Her name is Samarile Dubose, and the police chief here...
Dubose. So not Dubois, Dubose, I guess. It's Dubose, I suppose.
In Palm Bay told us he has reason to believe she's been arrested and charged with abusing this same little boy in the past. Now, police did show us a photograph of the boy who died, 12-year-old Noah Godleski. He was found dead in the laundry room of his family's Palm Bay home last Friday after his father, Jason Godleski, came to police and told them his son had died in his sleep, could be found in their home, and then refused to provide any other information. Godleski has since been arrested in the boy's death and jailed. Police now say they believe Godleski and Dubose participated in the October 17th beating of Noah for misbehaving and then left Noah dead in their Palm Bay home while they and the 3 children they share traveled to Connecticut to visit family. The Palm Bay police chief grew emotional when talking about the horror of this investigation.
So as a police officer, our folks are trained to compartmentalize this case, focus on the work the case, bring a voice to Noah, and focus on justice. I spoke to the lead detective, one of our lead detectives, yesterday, and we talked about how, you know,
he's pissed off. This man is pissed off, and he probably is a father himself. He can't even understand this. It has no rhyme or reason to it. It makes no sense at all. This man is clearly getting upset, and I'm happy to even see that type of emotion.
You know, we talked about how he went home and hugged his kids hard that day. I certainly did myself.
Now, police say the girl...
Developing right now, a Brevard County father arrested in a disturbing case. Palm Bay police say he beat his 12-year-old son to death and left him locked in a line.
Yes, thank you, Cecilia. And I forgot to reiterate this point. This story happened in Palm Bay, Florida, which I'm assuming that's where the house was. And they ended up in Connecticut. I think somebody in the chat said it's about a 17-hour drive. Think about that. They murdered this boy, left him in that home in a laundry room, and drove to Connecticut. It sounded like they were trying to run for it, flat out run for it and just make a new life and just act like the boy didn't exist for 12 years. Let's not fail to mention that.
Laundry room for days.
Just a short time ago, investigators gave an update on the case. News 6's James Barbero joins us live from the home where this all happened. And James, the details here are just heartbreaking.
Sadly, Justin, the allegations inside the house, they only get worse because now Palm Bay police are saying that inside this Colonial Avenue house, the girlfriend of 33-year-old Jason Godleski also abused 12-year-old Noah Godleski. They say the abuse from her.
She abused him. They accused her of abusing him at least 3 different times. The stepmom, 2013, 2018, and 2020.
Her and the father may have went back as far as 2013. In the press conference this morning, we had our first photo shown to us of Noah, just 12 years old. The police say even back in March of 2020, a teacher at an elementary school in Palm Bay, Turner Elementary, she was suspicious of abuse. They say that teacher made a report, but the allegations were unfounded. Police now trying to piece together the puzzle of what's happened since then. The police.
I don't know if I could be a teacher. Well, my mom was a teacher. Shout out to my mother. And I know I wanted to be a teacher. It would be hard for me to be a teacher and I find out that one of those parents are abusing the kids. I would lose my job and probably be arrested for hurting some of these parents, really jacking them up for doing that to these kids. I would find it very hard. I'm just telling y'all, I'm not saying what y'all should do. Not suggesting violence at all, because that's not the right thing to do. You put yourself in a ton of legal jeopardy by doing that. But you come and tell me my mom beat me up and punched me, or my mom's boyfriend beat me up and punched me. As a dad, I'd be thinking, I'm about to go get up in somebody's ass. My first thought ain't gonna be go call the police, because I'm just insane in the membrane like that. I'm just a wild boy like that. It takes a lot of prayer and a lot of meditation for me to keep myself right, especially with me hearing about all of these stories. I'm crazy about my daughter. I pray for the fool that ever tries to hurt my daughter. Amen. No, we got some parents out there that feel the same way. God bless these teachers that are mandated reporters. Thank you, Snazzy. They're mandated reporters. I couldn't just sit there and just report it and then just let it ride. I couldn't do it. That wouldn't sit well with my soul. It wouldn't sit well with my soul.
Chief, though, is confident saying that the girlfriend will be arrested today. They say that locking Noah inside the laundry room in the house and beating him so severely that he died.
My mother and father kept foster kids. Thank you again, Kim Fairchild. She is in the chat. Much love, not only for donating, but she also donated in Cash App. Thank you so much. But I'm going to tell y'all this. My mother and father were taking care of foster kids before I was even born. It's already in my nature. It's in my blood, it's in my family to take care of foster kids, and I was going to be, but it would have been, like I really would have needed to had a partner there, a wife or something for me to be able to do it properly, because I was working so much I would have never been at home. I wouldn't have been a proper foster parent at the time. But in a perfect world, in a perfect situation, I absolutely would. I think I would love to be a foster parent, and maybe I'll have to think about that, you know, once I hit retirement and stuff like that. I'd love to try to give back in that way.
And they left his body there for days. They even fled the state to Connecticut. He went to go as far as calling it torture. Listen.
As a father, I'll answer that I'm disgusted by this case. I'm angry, and it's hard to wrap your head around how someone, anybody in charge of the safety and well-being of a child, will hurt that child to a point where we take his life and then disgrace his body by not even acknowledging death and leaving him there.
The police are saying that Godleski, when he showed up, this all started last Friday at the police department. He reported that his son died in his sleep. inside the house when police went looking. They say it was off.
And he lied on his son, said he died in his sleep. And then they get to him, and then you find out that he's been beat up like he was fighting, like he was fighting some heavyweight boxer or something. Could y'all imagine that? Like, you get there and be like, what happened to this boy? Like he got into a fight with Sugar Ray Leonard or something. Like this boy done been into a fight with Marvin Hagler. Like he done been into a fight with Muhammad Ali and got hit 355 times. That is a huge deviation from talking about, oh yeah, he died in his sleep. Does it happen? I'm sure it has, but not likely.
We have new details tonight about a local boy beaten to death. Police had already charged the 12-year-old's father with...
Like Kimbo Slice came in and just gave him a good pounding. That's ridiculous.
Manslaughter. Tonight, detectives plan to charge the father's girlfriend as well, saying...
Matter of fact, and I didn't even think about this. The other day, y'all remember the story out of Houston, Texas, where the children were left abandoned in that apartment, and the 8-year-old boy had died and been left to rot in that apartment for so long that he became dry. He had decomposed. They were still, I don't know how the autopsy people do it. I would never want that job ever for any reason. They are a special breed of people. But they were still able to find out that that boy was beat up and abused. Even after decomposition. This dad had to have been a special level of stupid.
It would have been Noah Godleski's 13th birthday. Instead, law enforcement arrested Samariel DeBose this morning in connection with the death of that 12-year-old boy from Brevard County. DeBose and the boy's father are now facing charges.
And as West New's Michelle Meredith reports, police say the boy was beaten and left to die while his family went on a trip.
This is the mugshot of Samariel DeBose, taken by law enforcement in Connecticut, where she was arrested Friday, now officially making her part of what police are calling a horrific case of child abuse. Abuse, they say, led to the death of 12-year-old Noah Godleski. Law enforcement says Noah lived with his father, Jason Godleski, DeBose, his living girlfriend, and the boy's siblings in a house in Palm Bay. According to court records, it started in mid-October when Godleski forced his son into the laundry room where Noah stayed, isolated from the rest of the family for days. Witnesses say Godleski eventually went back into the room and beat Noah so badly the boy could be heard crying and eventually moaning. Days later, police say Godleski packed up the family, headed to Connecticut, leaving his son Noah and the family dog behind. According to police, it was Godleski himself who reported Noah's death, made a call from the lobby of the police department, explained where to find his son's lifeless body.
He's in the first door on your right when you walk through the front door. I have the key. There's also a dog there, so if I want to get someone there for the dog.
All right, and why didn't you call 911?
I'm just...
Sorry, do you know how he passed away, or?
No. I know you guys are going to come down here and take me away, but can I just smoke a cigarette real quick?
We're following developing news this morning. A woman was arrested here in...
A Brevard County father is locked up after investigators say he beat his 12-year-old son and left him to die alone.
So count one, you'll be held on no bond.
Now neighbors are wondering what happened behind closed doors.
What is he hiding in that house?
I did notice that Dre the Dream. He seemed real nonchalant. This man reacts as if he's already done a couple 10-year bids in the penitentiary. He just flat out don't give a crap at all. No emotion.
Palm Bay police say that man left his son beaten and alone in a laundry room while he drove the rest of the family to Connecticut. Good evening. I'm Greg Wormuth.
And I'm Martha Sagowski. Channel 9's Ashley Edlin is joining us live right now. And Ashley, police say that this guy told them his son was dead last week, but he was just arrested last night.
And a neighbor actually telling us today, Martha, that she saw this whole thing happen. She says there was a large police presence on the street focused on the home that this man lives in. She says at the time she didn't know what was going on, but when we told her today, she was surprised.
Jason Godleski.
33-year-old Jason Godleski went in front of a judge today in Brevard County.
All right, sir, as to count one, you'll be held on no bond.
In this police report, Palm Bay police say he walked into their police.
Quick pause while y'all are listening. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Please look at the number of people who are watching. Make sure y'all click that thumbs up. When you do that, it brings more of our subscribers over to the live. They a lot of times will watch it after the fact. But let's bring people in now. If you're watching, if you ain't clicked that thumbs up, go ahead and do that, please. If you can't chat, just subscribe to the channel, and it should open it up immediately for you to be able to hit the live chat, okay? You don't have to pay anything to do it at all. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Let's get it.
Department on October 22nd called dispatch and said his 12-year-old son, Noah Godleski, was dead inside their home. When police went to the home, they found the boy inside a laundry room, and it appeared he had been beaten. Neighbors say their first indication something was wrong was when police showed up.
Friday night, there was at least 8 cop cars and other vehicles in the area.
Police say Godleski told them he knew he was going to jail, but wouldn't answer any other questions. He lives in the home with his girlfriend and 3 other children, all under 18 years old. Police later found out Godleski took them to Connecticut. The woman told police Godleski beat the boy on October 17th for misbehaving and left him in a closet for days. They left for Connecticut on October 20th and left the 12-year-old victim home alone. The report says in a call 4 days after the little boy was found, Godleski told a family member he knew he was dead when they left. They even rehearsed a story to tell police. Police tell me charges are pending against the girlfriend in this case. They also tell me those 3 remaining children are in the custody of DCF in Connecticut. Live in Palm Bay, Ashley Edlin, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
New details about the case involving a 12-year-old boy who was beaten to death. Palm Bay police say that the girlfriend of the boy's father, well, they're looking for her up in Connecticut. And Fox 35 anchor Ray Vieta joins us in the Alert Center with more on this one. Ray.
She was arrested in Connecticut, John. Samariel DuBose is locked up now. She's charged.
Got it. Somebody in the chat asked if any of the other family members asked about him. As of right now, it's real easy for them to come out in the news, come out on social media, put out a video, do something, and just tag the baby boy's name. Social media works very, very fast. We'll be able to find it. None of this boy's family members have said a damn thing. Not a cousin, not an aunt, not an uncle, grandfathers, great-grandparents, nobody. Nobody has spoken out.
In connection with the brutal death of a young boy, her boyfriend's son. Police found the boy's body last Friday in the laundry room. His body had signs of trauma. Investigators say it was clear the boy was dead for some time. His name was Noah Godleski. Noah's father called police and told them the boy was dead in their home. Police say Noah's father drove his girlfriend and their other children to Connecticut afterwards. Police interviewed DuBose there. She told them Noah's father beat the boy severely. Police also intercepted a phone call that led them to DuBose's arrest.
That phone call alluded that we, quote unquote, hit him too hard in the face and the back of the head and left him dead. Based on our evidence that we have thus far, that we are comfortable, more than comfortable, charging this case with aggravated manslaughter for now. And to answer your question, sir, there's a great likelihood that once all is completed in conjunction with the state attorney's office, that will certainly be upgraded.
Noah's father is facing the same charge. DuBose was arrested in 2013 for alleged child abuse involving Noah. There's also another allegation of child abuse in 2018. What makes this even worse, Noah would have turned 13 today. In the Fox 35 Alert Center, I'm Ray Vieta. John, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Ray.
Let me tell y'all this, man. I normally don't advocate for children going into the foster care system, but if CPS would have came and got this boy in 2013 when his biological mother first abused him, Because I don't think it was alleged. I think she did it, which is why she lost custody. But you know what? They did like I suggested, and I said, why not give the biological father a chance? If the mom failed him, why not give the biological father a chance? At least that makes sense, right? I'm hoping I'm advocating for the right thing. Y'all got to let me know. Because it seems like give the other portion of the DNA a chance. And you know what happened? In 2000 and let me see, it was first time she was accused was 2013. The girlfriend was accused of beating the boy. Then he should have lost custody flat out then, put him in the foster care system, and just pray that he would have been able to grow up and become independent and be something great. Because the foster care system, kids just being stuck perpetually in that system, it's not a good thing. They need good foster parents, and there just aren't a lot of homes available for all of these kids who get stuck in that system. But there was a second time, 2018, strike number 2 against the stepmom and biological father. Then strike 3 comes in 2020. You still don't take the kids. That's 3 strikes. You're supposed to be out of here, right? No, what they do, it's like it goes unfounded because they didn't let the police know. Is that a failure of the system? Yes and no. Yes, the system failed, but I've told you guys the responsibility falls on the biological mother and biological father. That's where the children need to be provided for, protected, and saved. It's just starting in there. If everybody takes care of their damn kids and stop just having kids all over the freaking place because you like this piece of pussy or you like this piece of dick. Life ought to be more important than orgasms. How can you look your own flesh and blood, DNA in the eye, and treat them like shit? I will never understand it. I will never get it. And I will never understand why people force children into this world with no plan to take care of them, no plan to love them, no plan to provide for them, no plan for them to grow up and become something great, to have a foundation, to really have a true future and a chance to survive and thrive in this world. These stories shouldn't be happening. But you know what? We could vet a little bit better. Maybe the biological mom should have did a background check on the dad. Maybe the dad should have did a background check on the mom. And they would have both realized, oh, that's right. Neither one of us ain't nothing. We're both terrible human beings. Maybe we shouldn't be having kids together. Instead, they have kid on top of kid on top of kid on top of kid. Let their frustrations build up because they improperly handled their business and took it out on this baby boy who couldn't speak for himself, couldn't defend himself. And that boy had 0 advocates in the world that he lived in. He needed an advocate so badly. CPS could have saved him at least 4 different times. The 5th time was too much. Who's going to cry for the little boy? Who's going to cry for Noah? Who's going to be an advocate for Noah? Noah doesn't have a chance to do anything else now. His opportunity to grow up was robbed of him. But here's where we can make a difference as the AFC. Always look at these stories for the positive side. The positive side is when you see something like this, you can say something. For CPS, when you see these stories, you can get up off your ass, work hard, and make the proper recommendations. For the police, when you get these stories, you come in and save these kids. Make the system that's there work. For the biological mothers and biological fathers, think before you have sex. Don't bring children into this world if you don't have a solid plan. Because life is hard. Raising children is extremely difficult. And you cannot take your frustrations or your I didn't know this and didn't know that and wasn't ready for this and that. Can't take that out on the kids. They don't deserve that. It'd be better for us to be more responsible beforehand than to get in the situation and put these children through things that they did not deserve. So what we can do is we can be advocates for someone else's child, for our own children, for our own neighbors, for the kids who, if you have schools in your area, you can be mindful of a lot of those things. Be an advocate in your home. Be an advocate in your neighborhood, in your city, in your county, in your states. Stand up for the boys who need advocates. Stand up for the girls who need advocates, okay? To young Noah, young Prince, R.I.P. Let these stories be a cautionary tale, okay? Thank y'all for listening with an open mind as well as an open heart. Thank you.